Hey there, welcome to Storytime. My name's Josh. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're excited and ready, as I always am, for a fun story. I love reading books. Do you? Yeah. Alright, today we're going to be reading Walt Disney's Cinderella. It's a Disney princess story. All of you princesses out there, hope you're excited and ready. Let's get into it. Cinderella, illustrated by Ron Diaz and Bill Lawrence. Here we go. Get comfy because it's story time. Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, there lived a widowed gentleman and his lovely daughter Ella. Ella was a beautiful girl. She had golden hair and her eyes were as blue as forget-me-nots. The gentleman was a kind and devoted father, and he gave Ella everything her heart desired. But he felt she needed a mother. So he married again, choosing for his wife a woman who had two daughters. Their names were Anastasia and Drizella. Look, they're not very nice though. Do you know the Cinderella story? Well, if you do, awesome. I'm about to read more. And if you don't, awesome, you're about to find out. The gentleman soon died. Then the stepmother's true nature was revealed. She was only interested in her mean, selfish daughters. The stepmother gave Ella a little room in the attic, old rags to wear, and all the housework to do. Soon everyone called her Cinderella, because when she cleaned the fireplaces, she was covered with cinders. So, her name's Ella, but obviously all the work covers her in cinders, so she became Cinderella. That was her nickname. But Cinderella had many friends. The old horse and Bruno, the dog, loved her. The mice loved her too. She protected them from her stepmother's nasty cat, Lucifer. Two of her favourite mice were Gus and Jacques. Cinderella was kind to everyone, even to Lucifer, but Lucifer took advantage of her kindness. Lucifer's the name of the cat. And Lucifer is also another name for someone really, really, really bad. Some of you might know who that is. Lucifer likes to get Cinderella in trouble. Evil. One morning he chased Gus into Anastasia's breakfast tray. She screamed and blamed Cinderella. "Come here," the stepmother said to Cinderella. "The windows, wash them. Then scrub the terrace, sweep the halls, and of course, there's the laundry." In another part of the kingdom, the king was worrying about his son. "It's high time he married and settled down," he told the Grand Duke. "But sire," said the Grand Duke, "we must be patient." "No buts about it," shouted the king. "We'll have a ball tonight. It will be very romantic. Send out the invitations." Well, there we go. They're preparing for the ball. When the invitation arrived, Cinderella's stepmother announced, "There's a ball in honor of the prince. Every eligible maiden is to attend." "That means I can go too," Cinderella said. "Well, I see no reason why you can't," the stepmother replied with a sly smile. "If you get your work done, and if you can find something suitable to wear." Cinderella had hoped to fix her old party dress, but Anastasia and Drizella wanted her to help them instead. The stepmother kept her busy too. Cinderella worked hard all day long. When she finally returned to her little attic room, it was almost time to leave for the ball, and her dress wasn't ready. Oh no. I hope Cinderella can get to the ball, don't you? Yeah. But the loyal mice had managed to find ribbons, sashes, ruffles, and bows. The mice had sewn them to her party dress, and it looked beautiful. The stepsisters shrieked when they saw Cinderella, because they're a bit jealous and selfish. Not very nice. "They're my ribbons, that's my sash. They tore her dress to shreds. Come along now, girls," said the stepmother, and they left Cinderella behind. Cinderella ran into the garden. She wept and wept. Suddenly a hush fell over the garden, and a cloud of lights began to twinkle and glow around Cinderella's head. "Come now, dry those tears," said a gentle voice. Then a small woman appeared in the cloud. "You can't go to the ball looking like that. What in the world did I do with that magic wand?" So look, a bit of magic might help, and some kindness. "Magic wand?" gasped Cinderella. "Then you must be—" "Your fairy godmother," the woman replied, pulling her magic wand out of thin air. "The first thing you need is a pumpkin." There we go. Do you know what they use the pumpkin for? What the pumpkin turns into? Let's find out. A cloud of sparkles floated across the garden. A pumpkin rose up and swelled into an elegant coach. It's like another word for like a chariot or like a carriage. The mice turned into horses. The old horse became a coachman, and Bruno became a footman. Well, now it's all fancy schmancy, isn't it? "Well, hop in, my dear," said the woman. "But my dress," said Cinderella. The fairy godmother looked at it. Good heavens! With a wave of her wand, she turned the rags into an exquisite gown. On Cinderella's feet were tiny glass slippers. Look, with a swish of the wand, a magic dress and a chariot and all kinds of stuff. All ready for the ball. "You'll have only till midnight," the fairy godmother said. "At the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken, and everything will be as it was before." Cinderella promised to leave the ball on time, and under a shower of magic sparkles, she stepped into her coach and was swept away to the palace. When Cinderella arrived at the ball, the prince was yawning with boredom. Then he caught sight of her. Ignoring everyone else, the prince walked over to Cinderella. He kissed her hand and asked her to dance. They swirled off across the ballroom. Wow, so she got to meet the prince, and the prince liked her, and they're dancing away. I love dancing. Do you like dancing? Yeah, dancing's fun. The prince didn't leave Cinderella's side all night. They danced every dance together as the lights dimmed and sweet music floated out into the summer night. Cinderella heard the clock begin to chime. "Oh goodness," she gasped, "it's midnight. I must... Goodbye." "Wait, come back," called the prince. "I don't even know your name." Cinderella hurried down the palace steps. In her haste, she lost one of the glass slippers, but she had no time to pick it up. As she leapt into the waiting coach, as soon as the coach went through the gates, the magic spell was broken. Cinderella found herself standing by the side of the road, dressed in her old rags. On one foot, she still wore a glass slipper. But look, she's lost the other one on the step there. Uh-oh, one left. Her coachman was an old horse again, and her footman was Bruno the dog. Her coach was a hollow pumpkin, and her horses were 4 of her mouse friends. They looked a mouse turning into a horse. That's one extreme to the other. A little mouse. Big giant horse. Interesting. They sadly looked at Cinderella. They all hurried home. They had to be back before the others returned from the ball. The next day, the stepmother told the girls that the Grand Duke was coming to see them. "He's been hunting all night for that girl, the one who lost her slipper." That's Cinderella. "That girl shall be the prince's bride." Cinderella smiled and hummed a waltz that had been played at the ball. The stepmother became suspicious. She locked Cinderella in her own room. It's the evil stepmother there, evil look in her eye, locking the door. Gus and Jacques had a plan to help Cinderella, while Anastasia and Drizella tried to squeeze their big feet into the little glass slipper. Trying to get in on the action there. Steal Cinderella's thunder. Not cool, not cool. The 2 mice sneaked into the stepmother's pocket. They got a hold of the key, tugged it upstairs, and unlocked the door. Cinderella rushed downstairs to try on the glass slipper. "May I try it on?" Cinderella asked. The wicked stepmother fumed. She tripped the footman who was holding the glass slipper. It fell on the floor and broke into 1,000 pieces. "But you see," Cinderella said, reaching into her pocket, "I have the other slipper." She put it on, and it fit perfectly. Even though stepmother tried to foil her plans, she had the other slipper anyway, which proved that it fit on the foot. From that moment on, everything was a dream come true. Cinderella went off to the palace with the happy Grand Duke. The prince was overjoyed to see her, and so was the king. Cinderella and the prince were soon married. In her happiness, Cinderella didn't forget about her animal friends. They all moved into the castle with her. Ah, so kind. Everyone in the kingdom was delighted with the prince's new bride, and Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after. Well, there you go. All happy there in a big love heart. Well, that's Cinderella. Hope you enjoyed the story. That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for being here and reading with me. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back again soon. If you enjoyed these, please subscribe, click that bell, and you'll be able to read stories here with me whenever you want. Okay, bye for now, but not forever. See you soon.